Hello and welcome everybody to today's special episode of Deep Dive into Blackfort. Today I have the honor to introduce our CEO, Stefan Huber. He's going to share some announcements with us today. That's why we also do the call in English language. So for those of you guys who are familiar with this format, Deep Dive into Blackfort, this is basically, we give you an overview of what's happening at Blackfort at the moment. What are our goals, short-term goals, and where do we want to go into the future? So this is what we are going to talk about today. We've prepared some topics for you guys. So we are going to talk basically about everything Blackfort today. So, but without further ado, I would say let's get started and let's say hello to our CEO, Stefan. Stefan, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's nice to be here again after, I think it was like 2 months or so, or 3 maybe.
Time
Nice to
flies
be
by.
here
It's
again.
actually already 5 months since been hearing you.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's okay. We know you are very, very busy working all the time. But today we took the time to give our audience a proper update on everything. And I would say I would guide through the topic so that we have everything organized. And one topic that is very, very important, that's the one actually I want to start off with today. That's Blackfort ID, because Blackfort ID is already and will become very, very important for the entire Blackfort ecosystem, let's say like this, in the near future. So can you tell us a little bit about Blackfort ID, what's going on there, and what can we see in the near future about it?
Yes. Well, it's not really one of our products or big platforms, but it's very essential to, essentially let people log in and register and manage their accounts across all the different Blackfort services. As everyone knows, we are working on different set of things, platforms, services, and we are creating sort of two different ways of connecting all the Blackfort platforms with each other. And one of those connections is going to be in a Web 2 style, and you can imagine this in a way like if you were to log in or register in any service today, you often see something like log in with Google, log in with Facebook, and this type of methods. And we are preparing the Blackfort user management to across all different countries, regions, data centers, and capability to communicate with different platforms in a way that we can make a few different functionalities very, very easy. And we will get to them once we go to the later updates, what we're working on. But I think it's very good that we did start this way because this sets kind of like a good fundamental view on what we're doing. Because today it's very different than, let's say, 3 years ago or 4 years ago, where we had, a simple platform where we were selling our NFTs, our nodes, and now actually starting to really implement great ideas and great projects for everyone to participate in. And we don't want anyone to lose any connection across platforms. So this is why Blackfort ID now is so essential to us, and we are basically ready also to start connecting it.
Where do we connect it right now?
Well, so if you log into the affiliate platform that is now Voltera, for example, you use, as everyone knows, login with Blackfort ID, which was also kind of like our first external service that was connected to it in a little bit of an experiment for us. On the other side, Blackfort Wallet is already connected with Blackfort ID since a couple of months, which was the original way of logging into all the Blackfort products, which also now gives us a good way to share certain data between different services. And the upcoming, of course, Blackfort Pay is currently in integration with Blackfort ID, where it will be possible to, not leave the platform, but be connected to it in a kind of like a background, very easy style for everyone to just log into it and also not lose or not, go out of their, let's say, affiliate connection to each other, which I think is very important because we want to share revenue across all platforms with people that have ever brought anyone into the Blackfort system.
Perfect. Very, very nice. Okay, I think Blackfort ID, very, very important. We're gonna see lots of it. And now I wanna talk about a very interesting thing, because everybody has seen it in their back office for sometimes years now, but most of the people, they don't know what it actually is. And what I'm talking about is the BX asset. So when you guys look into your now Volterra dashboard, for instance, when you go to assets, you can see stuff like BX USD, you can see BX BTC, BX Ethereum, stuff like this. But once you're basically withdrawing your funds, you're withdrawing actual Ethereum, actual BTC, or actual USDT. And BX asset is something very, very cool. So Stefan, what can you tell us about it? What's going to happen there?
Yeah, this one is very interesting. This one is also a little bit complicated and also gives us a little bit of experimental values in the preparation for Blackfort Zero, which I now don't want to get into too deep. But the BX assets, if you would see the Blackfort ID as a connection in our vision, how we want to connect, different things, you could see the BX assets to be the bridge between different types of asset movements between platforms, which essentially means that we're going to start releasing smart contracts on Blackfort blockchain, where people that, let's say, earn money with us, or if they want to place assets onto our blockchain to then start moving them on Blackfort network, they can do so by wrapping 8 different currencies onto our blockchain. This is interesting for 2 different reasons. And I will give the first one, which I think is very essential for the side of building and establishing the blockchain in the industry, and that is to use our revenue stream to essentially pay out people in these wrapped currencies on our blockchain in a live manner. So, for example, if you have an affiliate commission, for example, or a bonus or a top-up or anything, you would get not the assets really accumulated in any dashboard of Blackfort, but if you would like to, you can also, using now Blackfort ID, identify yourself across all the systems and receive transactions from affiliate or payouts directly to your wallet using the BX assets. Now, if we go further, and why that is important for also establishing the blockchain is that as our turnover grows, or as our value of assets that also we hold as a company grows, we place these onto our blockchain and we create something called a locked volume on our blockchain, which can be displayed as TVL. Maybe you want to say something about TVL just after I finish these few sentences. But it is very essential to actually list your blockchain on different types of platforms where you could view what kind of assets actually move on chain and how much in value is going to be moved or exchanged on a certain type of blockchain. And using these, the growth of volume, growth of sales and movement of different currencies within our system, placing them on this blockchain creates a rising value of TVL on-chain, which further places BXN, of course, in the market and gives a lot of marketing material and gives us the next idea that we want to shortly implement also on blockchain, and that is to extend the idea of our staking contracts. So for instance, if someone, and I wouldn't say only affiliate partner, anyone that has received or receives any BX assets, such as, let's say, BX USD, that is indexed and backed one-to-one with other USD currencies, can now stake their values on our chain and receive yearly APY for it. And maybe if you want, you can also give a little bit of insight what TVL and APY and these type of things mean.
So when we're speaking about TVL, TVL is just simply short for total value locked, which means how much value is in either a certain DeFi protocol or in a certain company, or even throughout a whole blockchain ecosystem. So, and what that means is, so like, as for now, we've had all these different assets, and we've had them all on their respective blockchain, like Ethereum, Bitcoin, and so on and so forth. But once we are activating those BX assets and you get those tokens and coins wrapped on the Blackfort blockchain, there is many advantages. So first of all, you could move them from within the blockchain network very, very fast and very, very cheap and secure. And on the other hand is through that extended staking smart contract system Stefan was talking about. I'll just give you an example. Let's say you would earn, let's say, $1,000 in USDT as a commission with Blackfort, okay? When you receive this so-called wrapped token on our blockchain, it can basically, you could use it to automatically stake these assets, which means that over the time, you're getting like a yearly APY. So you're getting basically money on top of what you've already received. And the cool thing is that at any time you want, you can unwrap these tokens and basically get them off to their respective blockchain. And by doing this, we are able to lock lots of volume, lots of assets onto our blockchain, generating value, generating revenue for the users that uses it. And we also strengthen our blockchain ecosystem itself with it. So this is basically a win-win-win situation for all parties involved here. And also the thing that you're, in the near future, you will get your commissions directly to your wallet. You don't have to go through any dashboard, withdraw it, and stuff like this. These times will be gone. It's going to be very, very straightforward. You can use Blackfort ID, get connected, and you will receive everything straight to your wallet. And this is just simply amazing. So thank you very much.
One more thing I would like to say here, because this is also a great preparation for the launch of our partnerships that are upcoming with Launchpad and for decentralized exchange on our blockchain. Of course, if you were to go the route of just releasing a decentralized exchange, which is essentially is not the hardest thing to do, we don't have at the moment a lot of values on our chain apart from BXN and BXN production. So if we have our partner projects that are coming in, and I can say the first one is going to be Launchpad, and it has certain really cool, connection with AI functionality. Anyone can, launch a token very easily. You can almost chat using this app, and launch your projects, your ideas, your memes, your, anything you would like to do on the Blackfort blockchain. And you can now also, once this is released, use a decentralized exchange to add liquidity to different pools. So if someone were to want to do it with BXN, of course they can do it, but they could also do it with BXUSD or BX Ethereum, for example. And this is good for foreign projects that want to scale onto different blockchains. If they, let's say, are doing this on Binance Chain or Ethereum or Polygon, since we are also wrapping those type of tokens, they can now bring their liquidity also to Blackfort. And for recognized projects such as these ones, we are also going to most likely, we will invest into their ideas as well, if we find them cool, if we find them, to have a benefit for our community. And if they do have this extensively, then we would also dedicate company purchased nodes out from the past in order to boost APYs or to boost DeFi returns in a way that would benefit our community. So that's the whole idea of now creating a connection on a Web2 basis where you can connect within all of our apps. And then if you go one level, I would say lower or higher, I don't know how to really say it, but you can now also have this connection on chain, and everything can function very well with each other.
Awesome. Amazing. That is very, very good. And this brings us directly to the next topic, because we've spoken already about commissions going directly to the wallet. And that brings us to the topic of wallet upgrade, because the wallet itself is going to be not only important for this, but it's also going to be important for things like Blackfort Pay. Maybe you can talk a little bit about the near future of the Blackfort wallet and what's coming here.
Yes. So regarding Blackfort Wallet, I can also say what our next updates are going to be. We have a few very essential ones, very good ones, but the biggest one is, of course, connecting the information flow between Blackfort Wallet and all of our different affiliate growth services, I would say, such as the referral for Blackfort Pay, the referral for, now the Now Voltura referral, possibly in the game that we're going to release, and affiliate system for the wallet itself. Because we want to extend the affiliate system in the wallet, actually. The wallet is going to become the central point of asset management for people that want to use Blackfort services or anything else. So in this preparation, we're going to implement commission triggers.
Okay.
Whereby if I ever invited anyone to Blackfort Wallet, and these people, and we see the numbers are rising. People are using Blackfort Wallet to swap currencies. People are using it to buy, especially using Apple Pay. It's really rising a lot. And we would like to also have people participate in this revenue. And we're going to add that, whoever has ever invited anyone to a Blackfort service, if they do use the wallet, there will be also commissions. And these commissions and affiliate triggers, they're now going to push straight into your phone. So, if you have, let's say, a big group of people that are buying Blackfort Zero links, for example, you might have 100 notifications every day. Of course, you can now switch them on and off, but it's quite nice if you keep seeing, you've earned this and this and this much BX USD, and you could now go and immediately start staking them until you need them. And there's not going to be any lock for it. Maybe there will be one where you can extend your APY, but that will also be able to be managed through the wallet. I'll give you a little bit of a development brief what's coming. So we want to make it even easier for people to invite others to the wallet, for example, or to have that initial point of entry into the Blackfort ecosystem. The wallet is going to be able to make much easier invites through SMS invite, email invite, direct sending, and QR pop-up for you to, if you, let's say, sit with someone, you're having a coffee, you can just show it, and the other person can very easily download it. We're also going to make the registration a little bit easier and shorter, so people, take less time to actually enter the system, and quite quickly also get to their source of incomes, like commission triggers, for example. These commission triggers, they're going to be according to what kind of utility level in the wallet you will be holding. So you can either earn a little bit less or you can earn a little bit more, of course. So we're also incentivizing to buy and hold BXN, and then later maybe use it in a dedicated pool for staking as well, maybe without losing your utility level. Of course, notifications are going to be made more efficient. It's going to start, interacting with you more. But this also comes along with a little bit of an upgrade that I don't want to say now, not in the wallet, but it's going to be something that we will release maybe in 1 or 2 weeks. In very cool, and a few other small changes to make everything more secure, upgrade, different app functionalities that you need to always stay ahead.
So this is really amazing. So basically, if I am referring somebody who is purchasing a link, who does it, I'll get a push notification in my wallet. If somebody who got referred by me purchases some Bitcoin through the app, I'll get a little bit of a kickback, get a direct message into the wallet. So basically everything around the entire Blackfort ecosystem, where in the future we will be able to earn some sort of commissions, they will be able to get directly pushed into the wallet and give us these nice notifications that people like to hear on a regular basis, especially when money comes in. This is really, really
Yes.
cool, and brings us definitely on the next level here in this scenario. All right, so we've got plenty of more topics to go. So let's jump to the next one, Stefan. It's just a quick one, and that's the Blackfort game. Could you give us just a little bit of an update on what's to come here and why even it's
Yeah, so
quite so important for marketing purposes and so on?
this is actually one of the very interesting ones, and we are very eager to see the result of it. Why would we start building a game? Not because it's really a trend to do, but we want to essentially try on different levels to place our competencies into things that make the whole ecosystem grow. You could now start investing such funds, for example, in more influencer marketing or this type of things, or you could come up with something fun you can do, something that will bring people into the ecosystem, something that now connects the game through, of course, again, the ID to all of our different products. And this is going to be an intuitive way to launch a new project that is going to also start being connected to our blockchain, and in an easy way to bring a lot of traffic onto our different social media platforms, for example. And it's going to be incentivized by creating 3 groups of people that can now match up with each other, that can play with each other. It's going to be a clan game. You're going to start by choosing who you want to play with. At the beginning, you won't know who, maybe unless your friend tells you. You can join one of the clans, one of the different colors, and you're going to start out by trying to, conquer the Blackfort. It's going to be a big, like a castle, and there's a lot of buildings that are going to be built around it, depending on the number of people that join the game. And they will have fun tasks and fights and clan fights and try to essentially make their clan win over the map or all the buildings in the world of Blackfort by doing not only fights, but also different types of tasks. And they will do this periodically. So if this kind of city starts building up, the people are going to kind of fight for it, but also in a friendly way. And I think it's going to be every 3 days where we're going to reset the whole game, and everyone will get a new chance to come in and, fight for each other. And of course, there are going to be rewards. There's going to be a connection and expansion of BXN also onto other blockchains, which I think is very important. And while people play and have fun, it serves a purpose of the growth of BXN as well. And this is, of course, very important for the producers of our BXN token. I can't say right now the exact number, but over 100,000 users that are now producers of the BXN token. They are also partly delegated to secure the network. But for us, what is the most important thing is to try to maximize the number of people coming to use this blockchain to do as many transactions as possible, because BXN is very cheap, and we want to essentially through volume that we create through game and the payment requests for the wallet and BX assets and all these things moving around on chain to support the growth in earnings also for our delegators, which is very important. And that's how we can break it down from a fun game that you come back and play with your friends to supporting what you actually are producing.
Amazing. This is some really, really cool news regarding the Blackfort game. So yeah, we will pretty soon have more updates on that. And we are going to jump right to the next topic. This is a topic that I would say more important for maybe like the German kind of users, because they were confronted with this topic probably a couple of times during the last couple of years. Yes, I want to talk about the situation with the German BaFin. I think some of you guys, especially the ones who are with Blackfort a little longer, you guys knew that there has been this article about Blackfort on the website of BaFin, and of course what the stuff that was written on there, wasn't even close to the truth. And that's why we also, we were working on that kind of stuff. It's especially in Germany, it's a very, very long road to do so. And I think we have some news regarding BaFin. Stefan, I think it's your honor to say that.
Yeah, this one has also been it's also been a very long topic. And I want to say This is in no way a marketing, any type of topic for a marketing content, for example. But it's, of course, always very important to spread the good news as well, because for the time we did have this warning about a certain part of the Blackfort system by the BaFin. It was a long process, and you know this as well. It cost us a lot of headache, a lot of strategy talk, and a lot of, displaying different types of conversations. I can't really talk about the whole process, but we managed after a very long time to get the BaFin to remove this article. They don't see the base for this anymore, as we have, explained in very different ways, all the points that they had questions about. And I must say that we are very open to have as a friendly of a contact to anyone that should be in a regulatory body, for us to always, not be in any type of gray area that would lead to such a warning. What I want to say about it is that in my best of understanding, it was mostly a misunderstanding that happened. And at that time, we were growing very fast. We had a few marketing articles that came out they were positive, that came out in the internet, and our our PR provider saw it necessary, or maybe did it in a friendly way, to translate our PR article into a German language, which kind of meant that we would be targeting marketing for what we were selling in Germany, which of course was not true. Any sale was done in an affiliate manner. We did, of course, in the conversation, in the best of ways, explain how we got to these articles. And also, there was an impression that we did public events, which we didn't do. Of course, it was all private with invitations. And how it led up to this article was that we were growing so fast that it would have been harder to, what they thought, to reach us than to just place it and then talk to us afterwards, which, was also not something we took in a bad way, because it's very nice to grow fast, as everyone knows. But I want to say it positively closed, and we had the best or most friendliest way to speak to them, and we did not have any negative conversation at all. So they were also not, in any bad way towards us. I'm very proud of everyone that worked on this, because we were in a kind of situation, or in a time where there was no clear laws for all of the things in cryptocurrency. We were very present in different types of markets. Our name was going around in so many countries. And I would say we're one of the very few that actually got through with this, and we got this deleted, and also managed during this time to list on such sizable exchanges at the same time as well. It was a lot of conversation, and Mario, you remember how long we had to talk and explain everything, but we made it possible, and we will never stop to bring our vision to life.
Amazing. Some really, really strong words from our CEO here. So, Stefan, thank you very much for this. So, I would say let's jump right into the next one. It's going to be a very, very important topic, because that's the next topic we're going to talk about. Is, yeah, everybody is waiting for it eagerly. Everybody is waiting for the launch, and everybody wants to know, okay, what is the situation right now? And I'm talking about Blackfort Pay. So what can you give us on updates here, please?
Everyone is waiting. We are also waiting on it to be ready. But what I can say, Blackfort Pay, it's progressing very well. We are about, I would say, 80% done with our app. Our web app, of course, is ready, and our e-money banking platform is also ready. So we've gone also through certain reviews. We are very close to be able to release. What we did in the last, I would say, 6 weeks, we decided to do one thing a little bit different, also kind of like a reaction to the market, because the idea for Blackfort Pay also came in a different time than what we are not able to do, but what kind of connections we are able to do today. So we're working on one last module for Blackfort Pay, And I think it's strategically a good decision to do. I don't really want to, like initially planned, use a third-party provider for the exchange of cryptocurrencies, because it will cause us to be less competitive with pricing in the market, and we would have certain dependencies that once we grow will be, much harder to replace. Because essentially we need to see the long-term vision and what Blackfort Pay can actually become. So whether you would at any later point go into real banking, for example, you need to make sure that all your fiat setup is, built in a way that you can actually scale it later. And now going to, this clear regulation in Europe and also the competencies of our developers, if you put this together, along with the vision where we actually want to land, it is something essential that we did, and we made the choice to start building our own exchange modules. So I would explain it in this way. We have three different modules that can communicate with each other, but are not directly, linked to each other in the same software, for example. One side would be all the user management, the affiliate management, and all of the things that are not connected to, money or assets in a way. That is one module. The second module is the e-money banking part that will do all the transaction, the cash management, the sending, the receiving, and the communication to the banks that we partnered with. And the third module would be the exchange, whereby we are building and in preparation also starting to create our own order book. And this module is going to be so flexible that it is possible to now, and we spoke to partners already, and we are clear on the way where we want to go, can now connect into deep liquidity with multiple exchanges. And in preparation for our own order book and our own services, we can now use the funds that we hold to also bring in liquidity for cryptocurrency exchange. And wherever we, for example, could not execute, we have connection to deep liquidity directly connected to exchanges.
Amazing.
And this is the most important part, because we do not want to, and I don't want to smear other companies. I don't really do that with names, but I would say it's a common practice in the market to show the user one price. And then essentially once he sells or once he loads his card, there is, different discrepancies in prices that you would see. And I think everyone knows it. You would be shown that you're paying a certain percentage, but effectively, if you watch what happens on your wallet, you're paying 2 or 3 times what you can actually see. And this was also offered to us. We did not accept to do it in this way and decided to build it on our own. And I think this is the best energy that you can put into a release, and that would be the honest way to do it. And that's how we're going to build it.
Especially for the long term, this is a game changer and puts us in much better position than it would have without it. So this is really, really cool.
There's in Blackfort Pay, and I want people to understand, and I won't make it very long, but some already get it. If we create this type of amount of platforms, there's essentially nothing left that you can further provide in the space of cryptocurrency apart from becoming a big exchange. Blackfort Pay and Blackfort Wallet are also prepared, and you can see it in Wallet, to start handling corporate payments, for example. So we have a vast network of connections between users. These users can buy cryptocurrencies in their client side. They can buy or sell cryptocurrencies on the server side. And if a company decides to later start using Blackfort Pay as an acceptance for payments, which is in our roadmap as well, not at the moment, but a little bit later, they can now start accepting fiat payments, but also cryptocurrency payments. And using this payment request functionality now gives the users, a clean way to send out without having too much discrepancy of copying the wrong address, copying the wrong amount. We have to think of also what the back office work for a company would be if they start using this. So it's going to be much easier for people to pay for their goods and services that, merchants may accept Blackfort Pay with. And this is already in the making, where you see if you just paste your ID into payment request, it will send out the right transaction in preparation for Blackfort Pay.
So everything kind of like plays in with each other.
And one more remark or comment. It would be easy for us to, of course, now Blackfort Pay is not fully finished just because of the exchange module, but we could release this and we could release the other, and then later kind of like, put it together like a Tetris, but it's not going to work in a clean way. So we have to set a very good fundamental, and there was a certain time we didn't release the product, and people are waiting and everything, but we need this proper connection between the things. So once they actually start working, there is a more value that you bring to the ecosystem. It's not something you can just say, because many say, but you have to actually do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's two different pairs of shoes to say stuff and then actually deliver stuff. So really, really cool. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Stefan, can you tell us a little bit about Blackfort real estate and what are the plans for this?
You mean tokenization platform?
Yes, exactly.
So that's maybe gonna be a little bit funny to hear, but the tokenization platform is actually ready.
Did you hear that, guys?
It is, yeah, the tokenization platform is actually ready. So you can log in, you can see the different types of projects, you can upload, the picture for it, you can upload the descriptions, the prices. If we add, let's say there's a new project, the system creates a smart contract on BXN. There's maybe one or two people have actually seen it on the blockchain. It is ready, apart from it being connected to Blackfort ID yet, but it's done in a good way. We are the first, and we have submitted certain things. Some things you also don't know yet. I wanted to show you last night, but it was already pretty late. But you can launch smart contracts for different types of apartments, plots, buildings, any type of asset essentially. And here we rely to finish the legal stuff. The platform works, everything is there. How we wanted to build it, that is ready. But I would like to release it after Blackfort Pay. And strategically, that's the best thing to do, because it's in a new market, you need to also educate the possible client or the new user what this is. So in the marketing, we're not going to be able to say, very directly in one sentence, you can now buy an apartment and it's on blockchain. If the public sees it, they also have to educate, because the house is not on top of a chain, so to say. You know how it works.
Yes.
Yeah. And once we have Blackfort Pay, there's money that can flow into the system. I want to connect it, definitely connect it with to BXN blockchain to, of course, have movement on it. And the way of fiat onboarding and offboarding is much, much more essential than to release this platform. But we can also do, we can maybe release a preview soon, but we have it.
That is really, really amazing. And I just want to wrap this up real quick, just for the understanding of the people. So as for now, due to regulations in worldwide, let's say Europe, it is not possible for a user or an investor, if they own a certain security token, okay? It is not possible for them to store these tokens in their own client-side wallet. So there is no way to do it as for now. So you always have to have these tokens on a centralized platform, by the way. So this is the way how it goes now. And we basically found a nice way to almost 99% solve this kind of issue, which brings us in a situation way better than others, let's say it like this, that are trying to get into this industry. So we have done our homework here. There have been lots of changes in regulation through the last years, especially in Europe. We have adapted to that. And now we are really shortly before launching a really, really good product here. It's not even a product. It's like a project itself. All right. So thank you so much for that. Just a quick wrap up, Stefan. We've heard a lot of stuff today, and basically everything we've heard in the long-term goal is basically to benefit the producers. You've said that already, is to benefit the producers of the BXN token. Right now, there is around 100,000 people that are producing the token. But what is our goal for the individual producer? Let's say it like this. We can wrap it up in short couple of sentences.
What we are doing with our products, we want to make it as accessible as possible for as many people as possible. And at every action someone takes, in any type of way, if it is legal and possible for us, we will connect this to transactions and into more value for on-chain usage that is possible for us. Because if our people produce and validate these transactions, and we make sure everything is connected as good as possible to Web3 and get traffic onto chain, this is what's going to be the beneficial part for everyone that is a node holder. And for the same thing later, being a Blackfort Zero holder.
Perfect. So, Stefan, thank you very much for giving us all of your insights today. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a call like this again in the future where we do this together. Have a nice time and see you soon in the next call. Have a nice one. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.